I put voltmeters where you need to find the voltages, and that way we can troubleshoot, right? And if you get something wrong in the sub-circuit, right, or the reduced circuit, we can start you off with that voltage. That's kind of handy, isn't it, right? So V1 is actually the one we need to do there. So V1 is going to be IR, right? So it's going to be 1.34666, you know, et cetera, right? Times that resistance, which is 6.10896. 10896. Right? Now I'm going to do this. I'm simply going to type D times C, right? And I'm going to store that in, well, I guess E is what we're on, right? Okay? Isn't that right? That's my D, and that's my C. Okay, so alpha D times alpha C. I'm going to store that in E. It's getting increasingly sophisticated. 8.2267. Yeah? That's this voltage, 8.2267. Yeah? Okay. Now we need to, it's not really a 6.10896 ohm resistor. It really is something really fancy, isn't it? Yeah, sadly for us, it actually is this. So now we're going to get rid of the rest of the circuit, which is the 3 and the 5, and we're going to go, right? And this is a, what did we figure out? 8.2267, right? And then it's an 11 that's going to just do its 11ness all by itself, right? Right? It's not going to actually affect. Actually, there's an ammeter here, right? A2 is there. Okay. Then it's a 2. Then it's a 3. All right. All right, where are things? V3 is here. V4 is inside here. Okay, this is 11 ohms. This one's 5 and 7 and 3 and 2, 11. Do we have all the things? There's a voltmeter across this guy, isn't there? Yeah? A voltmeter across this one. There's an ammeter out here, isn't there? That's like A4. Okay, so we, by the way, popped this thing once. This is the first popping of it, right? We've expanded it like that. And for my way of solving it, this thing right here, we might not get to the popping of this guy here. So this guy here is just one resistor with a resistance of A, which is 5.739. Okay? So now we're going to solve and get down into here. Does everybody understand why we're justified in saying that this is 8.2267? Right, because that's what the rest of the circuit provided us, right? So now I'm going to look at this. There are two independent circuits here. There's this current here, right, which goes through the 11 ohm, right? Then there's this current here, which goes through this whole mess, right, and then back. This current here is easy. This current is just simply 8.2267 over 11. And I'm not going to use that one again, so I'm just going to figure it out. So that answer that I got, alpha E divided by 11, is this guy. So 0.74788. Okay, amps, that's the current on this guy, right? And now what kind of circuit is this? Are you guys okay with me solving? This is parallel to the series circuit. But the series circuit is totally separate, isn't it? I can erase the 11 ohm resistor, right? I mean, if that really were a battery, I could erase the 11 ohm resistor and it would not affect this branch of the circuit, correct? Yeah, because it's in parallel, right? Okay, now in reality, in the real circuit, getting rid of the 11 ohm circuit would totally change everything. But if it were this situation, it wouldn't matter, right? We can mathematically solve them separately, right? So on this branch of the circuit, this one's a little more complicated. This is going to be 8.2267 divided by 2 plus 3 plus A plus, what's that one, a 3? Oh, 5, isn't it? I forgot to label it. right? So it's going to be 2 plus 3 plus A plus 5, yeah? Where A is the 5.739, right? Okay. So I'm going to go alpha E, which is my 8 point whatever, right? Divided by parenthesis 2 plus 3 plus alpha A plus 5. And I'm going to store that. I guess I'm going to store that in F. We, by the way, get to like G, H, and I, you know? Okay. I'm going to store that in F. But this equals 0.52269 amps. Yeah? And now how do we find this voltage? How do we find V2?
Use that voltage over the resistance times resistance.
Yeah, that current times that resistance, right? Okay, so V2 is equal to IR is equal to 0.52269 times 2, right? So I'm going to take this guy and go times 2. And that one's 1.0. Okay. Are there any more voltmeters?
Yeah.
That's not the thing, is it? I'm like, what the hell? The 5 is a 3.
Ah, yep. Yeah. We ruined it all. We're doomed.
Yeah. That's not it. So it's this one?
Instead of the 19 volts, you get rid of the 3 and the 5 to make it. Oh, yeah. You use the V1.
What is that one really? It's really a 3, isn't it? Thanks for stopping me. Okay, so this one is a 3, right? This guy's different. So alpha E divided by 2 plus 3 plus alpha A plus 3 storage okay, so that's 0.598. Yeah? And now we're set. We can do this guy.
Except to redo the voltmeter.
Okay, so that thing times 2.
Try and read this off the